Hence, my channel, Phoenix SC. SC standing for Survival Craft. Everyone's been asking me what SC stands for.
That's right. I feel like I could very easily, with shorts content, get InsideMC to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year.
But I was one of the first on the scene to make a proper Among Us map in Minecraft.
I still get people going, you only have 2,000 subscribers. How do you have this person on? And it's like, because I show a lot of passion and I show a lot of grind set. But you have to have some weird, like some crazy mindset to keep doing content without seeing any gain or little gain. Would it be a bad shout to say that fire protection would taste really good? Alright lads, welcome back to InsideMC, the part of the podcast where I sit down with an amazing guest every single week. This week I'm joined by someone who I broke the news to them just before the podcast started. I grew up watching. I know another one of these guests, oh my god. Don't worry, not gonna fanboy too hard, I promise. I'm joined with Feetpics SC.
Hey, how you doing? Fanboy, really?
Wow. So I grew up watching your content. I didn't say I was gonna be screaming, crying. I made that very clear before we started recording.
I'd like to see that. I'd honestly like to see that.
You want me to cry on the podcast?
Yeah. Do your best fanboy impression.
But no, I can't even do that. I've become too professional for that. Well, I've become too professional is my issue, you say. I have a reputation to uphold now, Phoenix. So. Oh my god, it's Phoenix SC. Oh my god. That's the best you're gonna get.
I heard that. Yeah.
I don't know if I covered like my mouth, so it probably is a little bit muffled as well. I don't know why I covered my mouth.
Still heard it.
Well, welcome in, Phoenix. You were just dealing with a possum problem for recording.
Yeah, there's a possum that loves to just hang out in our, because we have a not split level house, but like the study that I'm in at the moment is sort of out of the way, so it's separated. Its roof system is separated, so the possum just loves to during the day sleep in that secluded area. And then at the end of the day, at around 6:30 at night, it will just jump out. It's like right on the dot. Like I have timed it. It is exactly at 6:30. The possum will just jump out of the roof. So just beforehand, a couple hours ago, I went outside and I just stared at it. Like for a good 10 minutes, I stared at the possum because I knew that it was going to come out. And it did. Now it's gone.
Did it no issue staring?
No issues, because possums aren't particularly scared of you. But it'll come back at some point during the night. So that's going to be kind of annoying.
So it goes in the roof.
Yeah, so we have a box cutter. So there's the roofing dude just obviously forgot to patch it up, that little hole. And so yeah, I've got to figure out where that hole is. I have a fair idea where it is. I need to go up there and patch it up. So that is it's not as simple as playing Minecraft where you just fly and you find the hole, just block it up. No, it's
I think it's quite sweet though, no? That like it's found comfort in sleeping in your roof of all places. Like it's become its like routine daily. That's quite sweet.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cute. The possum is kind of cute, but if you leave it in the roof for too long, eventually it will defecate, piss, and stuff.
Start to smell a little bit.
It will smell, and you don't know if it's gonna lay babies in there or if it's gonna die. If it dies in there, then that's it. Game over. It's gonna be hard to unsheath everything and pull out the carcass, and it will smell badly.
This is your motivation then before the podcast releases next Friday to have the roof patch up. There you go.
I will have the possum eliminated in a very humane way. I'm not gonna kill it. I'm not gonna kill it. I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna make sure it doesn't return by next week. That's my promise to the possum.
You should set up a window so the possum can see inside of what it had but can never get back in.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's a very predictable creature though, so I have to figure out a way to just make sure it doesn't come back.
That's fair. Well, aside from all the possum talk then, before we get into talking more about you, I was like to give the introduction here for you to let us know who you are. I mentioned how I grew up watching your content, so I very much know already. For anyone who's listening, who are you? What do you do? And if you have a fun fact for us today, be about you, can be about anything. It's your choice.
Oh, fun fact. Oh, I gotta think about that. I've been doing, actually, I should point this out. In about 3 hours time, I would have been on YouTube for 10 years. So that's exciting, but it doesn't really feel like it's been that long. So I started off on YouTube as sort of a creative command block guy because I was trying to figure out what I could possibly do in Minecraft that no one else has really accomplished before. So I created a few interesting projects, one of which is Pokemon in Minecraft. That's my biggest endeavor even to date. So I dabble in creative work in Minecraft, kind of like why it's really hard to ever find survival content of me, even though I do play survival, I just don't record it. So It's all command block stuff. Sometimes more the modding side, but I try to remain vanilla because it's just more interesting that way for me. So some projects that I've completed would be Pokemon, Among Us, Squid Game. Those are kind of the big three. And after that, it's just kind of died down to just making weird stuff and posting it online, and people kind of gravitate towards that. And I guess there's a label that people have attributed to it as cursed Minecraft. So I'm the cursed guy on YouTube that people, for some reason, love watching. So there is that. And now, fun fact, I cannot think of one right now.
I mean, you kind of covered it there about like the whole making Pokemon in Minecraft and Among Us and etc. I think that's quite a fun fact, no?
Oh, let's see. I was trying to think of one which isn't particularly like Minecraft skewed, more just. Oh, I love playing football. I mean, is that a fun fact?
Well, as in like
I don't know.
football, like, you know, like actual football.
Oh, well, I'm Australian. I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
so Australian football and not football soccer, which I guess people
Ugh.
are more familiar with. I'm a sporty guy. I love getting outside. So I probably spend more time not playing Minecraft than playing Minecraft.
I remember you saying somewhere you could have been a swimmer or an actor in another life.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge cinephile. I'm big on film, huge on film. So if it wasn't for video content creation, I would be probably in the film sphere or getting outside and playing sport. Those would be my alternative life. YouTube wasn't a thing for me, but I'm here, so I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Yeah, it did. It's an outlet for me to explore creativity rather than other things which I wouldn't probably be as keen on doing.
I want to kind of talk more about that, about you getting into YouTube, but before I do, I kind of want to give you some help with your fun fact if you're interested.
Are you on my wiki? Are you on my fandom wiki site?
No, of course not. I just noticed I have research notes that I wrote down. I also have someone helping me do research.
Sure.
So no, I'm not on your fandom wiki. How dare you accuse me? It states here that you don't like the color orange.
It's one of my least favorite colors, to be fair.
Why? What's wrong with it?
See, I like the color yellow. I really like the color yellow. But then orange is like faux yellow if you think about it. It just doesn't feel like it's yellow. I like bright yellow.
Yellow's so
It's a strange thing.
I know you just said that, but yellow is like a really bright color. Like you can't really do much with yellow. Like for instance, the InsideMC logo is white, so it wouldn't work with yellow.
Yeah,
with orange.
Yellow is a memorable color. So if you see something that is on a backdrop of yellow, it's far more recognizable and memorable than any other color that you use. The orange is just, it is blinding because it's closer to white than darkness. But that to me, that's why my logo is yellow. So my two favorite colors, yellow and sky blue. And that's why my second channel is light blue and my main channel is yellow. And so by like orange is just an imposter to me, and I can't do anything. I don't think I've ever used, like, if you go through my thumbnails, very rarely would you ever see the color orange on it. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't stand out. I like green because green is a very neutral color. Green is something that's nice to look at. So it's you go outside and look at nature and most of it's green, so it's really good for you. But orange just doesn't. I couldn't possibly see any value to orange. I like oranges though, but I eat it and I discard the peel. I don't keep it.
What about carrots? You like carrots?
I like carrots.
That's why I just sent you the thumbnail of using a carrot in your thumbnail.
Oh,
5 months ago, and it has orange on it because it's a carrot.
Well, I'm not gonna color the carrot yellow.
Why not?
It just has to be.
Could have been.
I also put a sad face on it. It's a sad face, so
True,
that blames my sentiment towards the color itself.
But that's also because of the title, though. Carrots are apparently now poisonous. Of course, that's sad.
Yep, negative connotation indeed.
With the color orange.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, it is. Yeah.
With the whole getting into YouTube thing, then, as you mentioned today, like over 3 hours from recording, there's going to be your 10-year anniversary. What exactly went through your head when you were sitting there 10 odd years ago to go, yeah, I'm gonna make Minecraft command block videos?
So I started off creating content for my multiplayer server, which is called, boringly enough, Survival Craft. It wasn't really my choice because I had a friend that we set up with. And during the endeavor of running that server, there were certain projects that I wanted to try out because the server itself is quite simple. in its own right. In its essence, it's just a survival craft server. It's survival Minecraft. However, because it was kind of bland for me, I sort of strayed away and I created command block concepts. One of which was a Pokemon wild battle randomizer. So you'll just walk through tall grass and across something at you and you can fight it. It was like a turn-based system of combat. And then there was no way for me to tell people how I did it because it was exciting revelation for them. So I created, hence, my channel, Feetpics SC. SC standing for Survival Craft. Everyone's been asking me what SC stands for. Yeah, it's one of the most hidden little tidbits of facts that is really hard for anyone to look up. But people who've been watching my channel for a very long time would know that's what it stands for. So I created the channel to leapfrog off of that. And so I didn't really create the channel to make Minecraft content. I made it because I wanted to share videos with them. Lo and behold, when I released the whole Pokemon Wild video concept, a lot of large YouTubers jumped on it. And because during that time, 10 years ago, there was still a lot of YouTubers that created map videos. So DanTDM, Log.zip, Sky's Minecraft, Captain Cycles, all those people would create, Popular MMOs will be another one. A lot of them would create videos to advertise maps, or they would play it for a video. So my one was one of them, and it picked up a lot of steam after that. And ever since that happened, I sort of had this impetus to create more videos about that. And so that was really my intention. It wasn't any sort of thought process behind it. It was just, I'm going to make these videos because I like to see it. So as far as 10 years is concerned, I don't think I ever thought I would be doing it for this long, because at the end of the day, I didn't really see any real popularity or real drive to continue doing this until maybe 2018, 4 years later. So 4 years later, or maybe 5 years later, that was when I found some strange niche. Then after that, I was like, maybe there is a career to this. So in some respects, it doesn't feel like I've been making content for 10 years, but it really feels like I've only been making it 5 years. So this whole 10-year anniversary doesn't strike me as something that is as special as it could be, but I kind of take it as every day. I'll make something that people like, love it, I'll move on. It doesn't feel any more special to me than anything.
To be fair, in about 2019, it was when your kind of channel started to take a bit of a turn for the better. Like 2018, 2019 was when like PewDiePie started playing Minecraft and a Minecraft tournament started happening and stuff. It was like around about that time we saw this weird resurgence in Minecraft content as well. And it's like ever since then it's kind of been up and down. It's really a strange like process from what I've noticed. It was about 2019, 2020 was when I started my channel, like the InsideMC channel, which is now dead in the water. But you wouldn't be able to find this unless you like dig through my playlist or through InsideMC's lore. I also started with command block tutorials, but for Bedrock Edition. I was one of, if not the only, or like I'm gonna claim it. I during my period of time, I was the best command block tutorial YouTuber on Minecraft Bedrock Edition. I made some like amazing builds, but then I just lost like passion for it because I realized like I was growing really, really quickly and I was making a good amount of money, but I couldn't build an audience for the life of me. And so I realized in the end that I just didn't enjoy it as much anymore. Like I mean, you're at a stage where you have a consistent audience that will watch when you do kind of like you do similar content throughout your videos, but also there is a slight bit of variety there. I don't really know how to explain it. It's one of those things, if you get it, you get it. But with the command block tutorials, if I tried doing another video, I'd go from 50k views on the command block tutorial to 200 views on the gameplay video. And it's just like, oh, I really want to grow an audience on the gameplay side. So that's why I do InsideMC now, kind of.
There is truth to that, because I began my YouTube career with a lot of it was mostly projects and proof of concepts that are disguised as command tutorials, and for Java Edition obviously especially. But there are moments where it would be very, very nice if the popular viewer base are mature enough to comprehend the complexity of command block tutorials. It would be nice if most of them truly and honestly cared to learn how these things happen, how these things work. However, it was quite obvious to me early on that anytime I get more technical in my concepts or more technical in the way that I structure my explanations, that people really don't care that much. And which is why I think the moment my channel grew in popularity was the moment I began to show things that are a little less ordinary, or more extraordinary. So stretching a chest to a triple chest, a spherical chest, buff Steve. The moment the moment I showcase those things, they get clicks because people are like, the heck is going on here? But I wouldn't really explain how I did it. I think, and during that time as well, because there were a lot of YouTubers during that era that really became popular during 20. I don't really need to name anyone. You would know.
Yeah.
And a lot of them would show these things in a sort of a montage structure. So they would show these images, show these videos, but they'd have music in the background or like a distorted Minecraft Sweden by C418. As you get more and more cursed, the music gets more distorted. And those things are the more engaging videos because you can save that on a playlist and just watch it over and over again. Kind of funny. So I tried to emulate that, but I could never find that to be true to me. So I would still record myself explaining somewhat what's going on, but I would dial back on the technical explanation. And that is when I found real popularity, sort of organic popularity. I know people now associate me with that type of. So yeah, the whole command tutorials, I've done that too. And it's nice to know people still care for that stuff, but it's truly quite difficult growing an audience out of it, as you would know too.
I think if I'd really tried, I could have. But my issue was, so for instance, I did strictly tutorials. Literally, I made the command. I'd lay down one night, go to sleep, dream about like command tutorial, build it in Minecraft the next day, record a video about it, right? And it'd basically be, here's the command, this is what it does, this is what you need to put input, right? And they did well. But one time there was this person, and I don't know how they're doing right now, if they're even ever going to listen to this, but their name was Jessa101. I hosted this command block battle, right? It's like a little series I started. It lasted 2 episodes, and they made like this command where you could beat the Ender Dragon by shooting an arrow. So what it'd do is it'd do everything for you. So I said, okay, I'm going to make a video about this. So what I did was I made a video and I titled it Beating the Ender Dragon with a Single Arrow. I did this whole thing of running, getting to a village, crafting a bow, killing a skeleton, getting an arrow. Did this entire thing of then it beat the game for me. I only did one attempt at it and it was really bad. Like the video was really bad looking back on it. And it got about 1.5k views. And I think after that I realized like no matter what I do, I mean, like I said, I didn't attempt it much. I should have attempted it a lot more. But then I also just realized I didn't want to do that kind of content anymore. And that's where then I moved into gameplay and essentially this.
How did you kill the dragon with one arrow? Is it in Bedrock Edition?
Yeah, so basically it was an entire chain of commands. So what it do is as soon as you shoot an arrow, it detects the arrow has been shot. It detects if a player is around it. And then what it'll do is it'll do the entire process of it'll build a nether portal around you, TP to the nether, and it'll TP you to like a thing, kill the mobs around you, give you Blaze and Eye of Ender, TP you back to the overworld, then to the Ender thing. That was basically the concept, is by shooting an arrow, it did the entire process of speedrunning for you.
Yeah. So speedrunning the one arrow. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So
how long was the video in duration?
Like 10 minutes maybe. I can't even remember now. I think it's been deleted off my channel completely. I didn't want it there anymore, so I got rid of it. But like, you know, it was just one of those things where I should have tried it more. I just never got around to it. Also, doing it on Bedrock Edition is hard.
Bedrock is a tough community to you know this because the Bedrock player base is a lot younger than the Java player base. And that's because you just don't have the resource computer. And people who've grown up with Java Edition are generally around my age, so like 20s, early late 30s or whatever. And then the Bedrock player base is still relatively young compared to Java. And so building an audience from Bedrock Edition, you have to be comfortable expecting that your player base or viewer base is going to be maybe like early teens, maybe even younger than that. And so it is interesting to me that, you know, I have a lot of these friends who do make videos for Bedrock Edition. One of them being Andrew, IBX Toycat. It's something that I would never be able to do because I don't like catering to a younger audience, even though I know my viewers can be younger sometimes, but I never speak down to them. I always respect that they understand a lot of the things that I do, and I just take that for granted, even though I maybe shouldn't, but I do. If I didn't, then I feel like I'd be wasting them a lot. Yeah, it does. And I don't like putting on when I record myself. I don't like to speak louder. I don't like to re-emphasize certain things. I don't like to overreact. I don't like to act. So in that way, I feel like I can maintain my viewer base. I can maintain myself for a long period of time because I know I'm not faking it. And so if I ever, and I have made a lot of Bedrock Edition videos more recently, but I would never. I don't think I don't think I could ever try to be just kid friendly, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I was never really kid friendly, and I think that's also why I couldn't cater much. For instance, like I have a friend
Yeah,
on
it's
Bedrock Edition
tough.
called like his name's Evident. I had him on podcast a little while back, and he does more like, okay, this is the word, this is the way I'm gonna phrase it. So he does like Java gameplay videos, but on Bedrock Edition. So like, you know, like there's the high pixel bed wars, biggest bed defense, and stuff like that. He does that. He used to do that on Bedrock Edition, and he does really well. Like he gets a good amount of views a video, and he is one of the larger Bedrock Edition creators, not in the sense of the way IJX and stuff does, in a sense of a gameplay sense.
Yeah.
But even then, we were talking, and it's only really him in that specific field. It's only really him who's that big. So even then, Bedrock Edition it's easy to grow on, but it's not as motivating to grow on, and it's like why I moved away from it. And it's why I moved into the podcast, because I like just sitting down like we are now and just having this real chat, and then people get to listen to it, and whether they care or not, you know, it's either content creators listening to it and they're like, oh my god, or it's a listener listening to it and like, oh, this is nice. It's like we already get a good real side of Phoenix, and now we're getting to hear even more of a real side of Phoenix. So
This is the type of content, like what we're doing. This is the type of content that I'll be very comfortable sharing with everyone that that watches me, because I know this is a very mature sit down and chat. If you don't mind, do you think your friends' viewer base is on the younger side? Because you can generally tell from, you know, like to dislike ratios, like to comment ratios, viewer to like ratios, and the comments that show up. So just in general, like, do you think their viewer base is on the younger side?
I mean, because the podcasts are typically like an hour long, and you really have to kind of lock in to actually listen to them. Like, you can zone out and listen, but if you're actually gonna listen, you kind of have to turn your brain on a little bit. I think it's either from experience of people I've talked to, they're either older, like kind of not children, like older, younger, as in like they're in their later years of school, listening to it on the way to school, on the way home from school, or it's people listening to it while at work. So yeah, majority like the older side of the younger audience, and then actually older audience. And I know YouTube analytics aren't amazing sometimes because people lie. But let's take a look anyways, because I'm curious. For my top ages, so 13 to 17 is 13.7%, 18 to 24 is 49.7%, 25 to 34 is 17%, 35 to 44 is 10%. Like, you know, if they're anything to base off, yeah, I mean, it's 18 to 24 years old, so it's older people, yeah. Or like older, in quotation marks.
Although, I guess my question was more directed to, like, you mentioned that you have your friend who make Bedrock Edition videos.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you think their viewer base younger?
Oh, no, yeah, Evident, we've already talked about this, is Evident, his viewer base is definitely younger. Because, like, on Bedrock Edition, it's people who have watched Java content growing up, but can only play Bedrock because they either have an Xbox, a PlayStation, or they're on their phone, and then now want to relate to a person they can actually relate to, which is the Bedrock Edition person.
It's so difficult to grow as a content creator these days by catering to an older audience, unless now they're accepting the rule. Unless you're someone who's started off way back when, the people like the Mumbo Jumbos, 3Ns, those guys, you know for a fact that their audience there's a big portion of them that are older, and that is so nice. It's so nice to know that they still exist, because I know a lot of people who would be more than happy to create a niche which is only children, because there's a lot of benefit to that. You can sell a lot of merch, you can get a ton of people to just subscribe to you mindlessly because you just tell them to subscribe, they will. They can get their parents to just log into their account for them, and they can just watch all of your videos at once. That contributes to a huge viewership. You know that your videos are going to appear on so you know how on YouTube there's like the Minecraft gaming category that you can click on?
Yeah.
So your videos will appear there. Like on the front page, your videos will just appear there. If your video is 15 minutes long, if it's got a really flashy thumbnail with your face on it, with a gaping expression, if it's one of those videos which is like 100 days as a worm thing, or testing out these Minecraft myths if they are real or not, or you've got those AFMALs which are roleplay videos, and you know you can sell merch to them and you can market outside of Minecraft. So there's great benefit to it, and I don't love, you know, that there's this portion of the viewers who are not going to like those videos at all. They'll find them annoying, because those are the people who are a little bit older. They'll find those videos a little bit irritating, obnoxious. I understand though that there's really not much wrong doing that if you are playing by the rules. And what I mean by playing by the rules is that you are not using that platform that you've created to extort. So it's walking a fine line, because I know that with great power comes great responsibility. And there's a lot of yeah, Spider-Man. It's true though, because the moment you do that, and the moment you found your 10 million subscribers, it's really easy to stray away, because you know that you've got so much power that has just come to you because you've done well as an entertainer. That is where it can be a bit problematic. But there's really nothing wrong creating content for children, as long as you know you're not doing the things you shouldn't be doing. But that's really not the case for a lot of people, as you might be aware.
This is the first time that an InsideMC, or not first time, but like a very rare amount of time where InsideMC is recorded after midweek MC. So normally I record InsideMC on a Wednesday, comes out, so Monday comes out the following Friday, then Wednesday, that's it. For the person I recorded with on Wednesday, we had a chat similar to this, so I want to hear your opinions, or hear your thoughts on it. So I'm going to bring up a topic, and I just want you to answer it. I've already answered it. If you want to listen to it, go listen to the midweek MC that came out 2 days ago. With the silver play button, obviously, it's been reduced to a smaller size now because of like certain things. Would you say, and you can say neither, I just want to hear your opinion, I'm making like a very controversial, not really controversial, I'm hyping out to be nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
Would you say it's the fault of short content creators, kids content creators, or a joint of both, or neither?
It would be wrong for me to say it's only one of them. I think, okay, so I've been thinking about this for quite some time. I do think the 100k subscriber button the requirements to get it should be changed in some way. And this is only normal because with the way that society functions, with a growing culture surrounding YouTube, especially during COVID, with a growing culture that surrounds it, you can't maintain the same outcome. So what I mean is, when you have more people achieving a certain goal, it becomes less valuable. So there are a lot of people, and you know this because there are so many. There's evidence that supports this claim. There are so many people who create a channel just to get the button. And it's not hard. It's really not hard. When you already have an existing audience, if you have connections, tell people to subscribe. They will subscribe. Children will click the button. All you need to do is feed them a little cookie and they'll get it. Yeah, I mean, I
No, you're right. I didn't mean to put you on the spot there. Sorry, I was just curious.
So I guess YouTube just didn't want to they didn't want to get rid of it, but they also wanted to do something with it. And so by making the button smaller, it's not only a subconscious message that is telling us that it's not that great of an achievement anymore. It's also them trying to not anger the masses, because if they ever decide to get rid of it, there would be a horde of angry men. There will be so many people who will they would be livid by the decision. Yeah, so
I want the silver play button. So me.
Yeah, so exactly right. So by getting rid of it, no one's going to be happy with it. But they have to keep it. How do they keep it? They make it smaller. Yeah, it can't be, because it's just they can't keep distributing it to everyone who's just achieved it because it's a black and white requirement. So what are you going to do? You're going to make it smaller. So it's a combination. Kids will subscribe if they are told to subscribe, and there's so much evidence that supports this. If you say within the first 10 seconds of a video, subscribe to the channel, you will get 10 times more subscribers, and even more sometimes compared to if you didn't. And so it is a fault of kids content. It's not really a fault. It's a huge contributor. And in addition to that, shorts are just being pushed out so much. If you go to the Minecraft category, any sort of category on YouTube, you just look at the most recent, or the most, 50% of them will be shorts. Sometimes more than 50% of them will be shorts. And so by constantly flipping through shorts after shorts after shorts, you are gonna get more subscriptions because you're consuming more content per watch. So it's definitely both. Whether it's one more than the other, can't say for sure. But I guess the more alarming thing is what's going to happen in the future. So I, for one, don't really care about subscriber count. It'll be nice to have more subscribers, obviously, because it means that you have more stability on the platform. But I really don't care for. At some point, like, what are you doing? Like, are you here just for the numbers? I'm not, but obviously it's important stats, sure. So as a smaller creator, it's probably more important to look at stats. However, at the end of the day, what is your true purpose on the platform? So it's hard. Yeah,
I'll let
would
you go
what would
first, and then
say?
I can answer mine. You're saying something
Yeah,
else,
so
sorry.
I think it's important looking at whatever you've achieved. Obviously, a number is indicative of some form of goal that you've set for yourself. But there are possibly 95% of creators who are here trying to build a subscriber base, trying to get that button, and that leads to YouTube needing to scale it back. There'll be more people achieving 100K mark, more people achieving the 1 million mark, and then if it's just inflation, decades later, if YouTube is still a thing, which it probably will be, monopolizing the whole video content space, when decades pass, 100,000 will almost be nothing. So what are they gonna do? I don't know. There'll be more people with like just having a million subscribers just won't mean as much as it used to. So it's a long-winded answer, but I really don't. I don't know. I'm actually pretty happy with them making this decision because I've been thinking about it for quite some time. I just think achieving 100,000 subscribers, it's not really a big deal anymore. It's really not a big deal at all, but it's not a big deal anymore. And so I guess they have to make a decision to reflect that.
I'm gonna slight parrot you here and parrot what I said on the previous podcast. So
Sure.
what I said was, because it's for anyone who just listens to both, this is more so for you. With like content, as in like getting 100,000 subscribers, I've said it. I feel like I could very easily make a channel tomorrow, or like I feel like I could very easily with shorts content get InsideMC to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We have something coming that's going to be like silly little shorts because we just think they're going to be quite funny to upload, which will be announced sometime later next month, or this month technically, because of the podcast coming out. But like I said it already, like if I really wanted to, so back in my old community there were some TikTok ranks on a server called The Hive, and they talked about how like TikTok was really hard to grow and this and that and all that kind of jazz. So back in 2021, obviously different times, I decided to make a TikTok account called The Hive TikToker. I uploaded about 10 videos on it, just most optimized. The first 2 of them got 500,000 views each.
Oh my god.
Because I just knew exactly what to do and how to do it, and this was a brand new fresh account. And it's why I said to people, and I had this conversation with a content creator called Potato Pie, is the thing about like TikTok and shorts and stuff is if I really wanted to, I could get a 100,000 play button tomorrow. Sorry, a silver play button, I should say. Why am I saying that? I could get a silver play button, not tomorrow, but I could get it soon, I feel like. But something in my brain just won't let me do it. I'll upload 2, see that progress is really, really good, and then get bored of it and stop it. And like I think with like InsideMC, I know because it's so tough to grow through either just doing a podcast, or we're going to slow down on the podcast a little bit and start releasing more basic, like straight up videos. Even then, because it's become so hard to grow like that as opposed to how easy it is with shorts, my brain just prefers to get a silver play button that way. So, like, to answer the question, sort of, is I don't think either are at fault. Like, I think kids' channels are at fault as well. And not all of them. I think some of them do, like, a really, really good job. So I don't want to be outing every single person who does shorts or who does kids' content. But overall, I just think nowadays, if you're making straight up, like, Minecraft videos, like, in the sense of what InsideMC does, it's significantly harder, it feels like.
No, you're right. So the value you are giving with podcasts, with this, is far greater and will continue to be far greater than a lot of what appears on YouTube. So there are moments where getting that play button is important to show that you've achieved something. It is more important that a channel like you, like this entire concept, this podcast that you've created, it is greater for you to get it than anyone else that I think doesn't deserve it. So you're right. It's just playing the game. It's really easy to create a channel, blow it up by ripping off a lot of other people's content, adding some weird, wacky music to it to make it your own and posting it. It's so easy to get that to show up on people's recommended because people, for example, there are a lot of shorts that and I'm sure you've seen these. There are a lot of shorts that are basically just taking a random animal video or something, putting your face on it, and just eating popcorn and just watching it, and you can just post it. And that's just a reaction. That is a 30-second reaction with music in the background. And that shows up so much. And it's so easy for that to get the popularity that it will get. And that can net you the play button. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is it's way I would like to, and this will never happen. I'd like to see something, or I would like to see an outcome where people who deserve to get something out of it do actually get it. but that's wishful thinking. That's never gonna happen.
So this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna make it very, very clear before saying it. This is me saying this, not you. That I want to. So for anyone listening, this is from me specifically, right? So the other day I saw a Twitter account. I mentioned this on the previous podcast. I'm just gonna bring it up again. I saw a Twitter account complaining that they hit 100,000 subscribers, but they didn't get their silver play button because they weren't eligible. In mind, they'd made their account about 5 days ago. Uploaded a bunch of shorts that were perfect for the algorithm. Got 100k within 5 days. Right? Then were complaining because they weren't eligible. Contacted YouTube. YouTube turned around and went, "Oh, my bad. You are eligible. You can get a silver play button." Right? And that's what I'll say. So I don't want to dig out people. I don't want to make it too obvious for them to be found. But I personally think you have to have your YouTube channel for at least like 6 or 7 months, firstly, before you qualify for a reward. I think also you have to upload a certain amount of videos, get a certain amount of views within those 3 months. Videos specifically, not shorts. And I think there should be a different reward for people who... Because for instance, for monetization, to get monetized on YouTube, you have to get what, like 3 million or something views on shorts within like the space like 6 shorts or something. You have to do some like crazy numbers to get monetized. But then for YouTube videos, you have to get 4,000 hours watched with a certain amount of videos and a certain amount of uploads within a year or something along those lines. But then for a silver play button, you get the same thing no matter how hard you work. So I think there should be different rewards. If you qualify for monetization through the shorts way, I think that should also, you have to qualify for a silver play button through a shorts way also. And that's why I'm making it very clear it's from me, because I'm not afraid to say that. That's how I feel genuinely. But
yeah, it is an interesting perspective. I'm not aware of the shorts prerequisites because I've never made a single YouTube short before. Never. I continue to make long form content. It's what I love making, what I think my viewers would love watching. If I ever make shorts, it will just ruin every systematic regimented schedule that I have and the way that I operate. So if I make shorts, it'll be very hard for me to get into the shorts game. And I mean, it's interesting. I call it a shorts game because a lot of shorts is a game because it is catered towards a certain factor. So people who make YouTube shorts, I think a lot of them know what they're doing because they know shorts hits a huge recommendation algorithm that is incomparable to what it would be if you were making long form content. It's an interesting perspective because if you have a shorts creator who gets 100,000 subscribers, which granted it is difficult to do because
exactly.
If you make shorts, a lot of people who consume shorts just flip, right? They don't really truly engage with the content. So if you do get people to subscribe to you through shorts, that's actually kind of good. It would be how would you if you were YouTube, how would you distinguish between a shorts play button and a long form content play button? Like how would you make it different?
I see. I think it's just the same play button. It's just harder to get if you're a shorts creator. I guess my way of saying it is more so just make it like how they do monetization. It literally when I was trying to get monetized, it's so different. But it's different requirements with shorts content and long form content. So I guess that's what I was more just follow the same monetization idea.
Did you say it was 3 million views?
Hold on, let me log into an account. Doesn't have monetization. I can like fact check.
So I actually have no idea how much you need, how many views you need for shorts.
Okay,
I'm not truly aware of what it is for long content either, but they do change it every now and then. Yeah, what is it?
Also really quickly, I just want to say something before I forget to say it. Also, InsideMC uploads like shorts content as well, but it's just literally clips from the podcast. It's just for people who aren't really too fussed about watching the full thing. It's just like little clips. It helps with
nothing against shorts. It's really, this is really a criticism I have of people who look. We don't live in an idyllic society, so we have people who will engage in a certain way that is to exploit the system to get popularity, and there's really not much that is truly immoral with that. But I will say, if you do certain things to exploit the system, there will be consequences. And those consequences will be, as such, the shrinkage of the play button and maybe in the future, the removal of it, because it's just the way things operate. If you do certain things, there will be consequences that will sometimes indirectly affect you. So that's just the way the world works. Anyway, so what are the stats that you need?
So for long form videos, they've actually changed it. So for long form videos, you need 500 subscribers and you need 3,000 hours watched within the last 365 days. So that used to be 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours. That's what I was originally basing off.
Oh, wait, hold on. So, right. Let me just have a look at that. So 3,000, what'd you say? 3,000 hours?
Watched within the last year.
Within the last year?
Yeah.
3,000 hours within a year. So let's say your video averages 10 minutes. So that is 300. Hold on, no, I haven't done that right. 3,000, did you say 3,000 hours?
Yeah.
So that is 180,000 minutes. So let's say that is roughly, if you upload, that's okay. So if you upload videos that average 10 minutes, if you get 10 minutes of watch time, that's actually 10 minutes of watch time. You have 10 minutes of watch, you need 18,000 views in a year to be eligible for monetization. This is monetization, right?
Yeah, this is for monetization. Because it felt so hard on InsideMC. It felt like it took ages.
So 3,000, because it's 3,000 hours, which equates to 180,000 minutes.
But this is also a fresh channel as well, you gotta remember. So you're making a completely fresh channel, but you need to get 500 subscribers, you need to get your videos out there. And if you've never done YouTube before...
So exactly right. If you have 10 minutes, so if you have 10 minutes of watch time on average, then you require 18,000 views across the year to be monetized.
But then now listen to the shorts one.
Yeah.
So you need to have 3 uploaded videos within 90 days. Okay.
3 uploaded videos.
Shorts videos. And at the same time, within the last 90 days, you have to have 3 million views. On the shorts video specifically.
Views. So there's really so I've again never uploaded a short. Don't really know how it works.
I get about 1,000 on average with my podcast clips. So I upload about 4 a week.
So you're talking about getting virality, right? So if your shorts, so you're saying 3 million?
You need 3 million views within the last 90 days, and you also have to upload 3 shorts.
Okay, that's really nothing.
But that's what I'm saying. Why is the requirement so different for monetization? Like they're kind of similar, but they're so different. But then different when it comes to the play button. What's
hard to fathom here is that if you upload one short that follows the guidelines on YouTube, so it doesn't break any rules. If you upload one short that is going to get a lot of views, it's not hard. It's all you need to do.
Then you just really have to upload 12 shorts to reach the requirements and bang, you're monetized.
You can
start uploading videos.
Yeah, it's a different game.
It's so weird, but you know.
They're trying to combat their rival, which is TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they encourage people to make shorts, because the more people who watch shorts on YouTube, the less people who will be on TikTok.
But Instagram Reels now as well.
I don't have Instagram.
Oh, Instagram Reels are deadly. Trust me. You're glad you don't.
Oh yeah.
You're very glad.
I stay away from that environment. I stick with YouTube and Twitter, and that's pretty much it. And Twitch, I guess. Twitch is a different thing.
That's fair. Also, sorry, we went down a complete rabbit hole there. Apologies. This is meant to be interviewing you.
No,
we just went into an entire talk.
I find a lot of... I've been intrigued by the technological sort of revolution when it comes to shorter form content, because I just can't find it within myself to do it. So, and I've spoken about this ad nauseum with my friends, because a lot of them, they do make shorts because they feel like they're compelled to. If they don't, then they are not following the trend. It's all about following trends, right? Higher subculture is about following trends. So all of them, they do shorts. They realize it is really important to do shorts, to make shorts. I can't. Just putting it that very simply, I cannot make shorts. I cannot bring myself to that level of making short form content to appease those who I know can only watch short form content that short. Like it's like my videos are already short. They're like 3 minutes long. How short do you want them to be? Do you want them to be 10 seconds? Like how much information can I... It's just a different game. To me, it doesn't feel like I am putting value in what I'm doing anymore if I am creating a 10-second clip of something. As like you can find it elsewhere. It's hard for me to change my entire look, unless I suddenly fall off the cliff or something. I don't know. Maybe then I will consider it. But for now, it's very comfortable. I'm pretty comfortable what I'm doing, and I don't want to change the way that I deal with things. And because I feel like shorts is just a completely different culture altogether. It doesn't feel the same as long form content at all.
Said it already anyways. Sorry, I said it on I was going to refer to the last podcast.
Yeah.
Like I've had shorts creators on the podcast before who are absolutely amazing, and some of them are really, really good and have just made the good content. Like, or they were the first to do a niche and other people copied them, which is completely fine. But there's like, I won't say names on this one, but there are genuine shorts creators who I've talked to who are amazing. And like, so it's not the entire population. Same with like kids content. It's not the entire population of that type of content creator. It's just there's a large majority who do really well with, referring back to the fella who got 100,000 in 5 days and demanded a silver play button. It's a little minority like that kind of stand out more so than the people who do a really good job. And like with shorts, like I said, we have something planned where we're going to upload silly content, and if it blows up and does well, then it does well. But we're not doing like a certain niche. We're not doing the most optimized niche. And like there's a few times which I thought of like a really cool video idea, and I'm like, that would actually make like a really good short. I really want to do that. But then I sit there and I'm just like, I've also said on the podcast multiple times how I disagree with it, so I'd become very hypocritical if I was to go ahead with that. It's like one of those.
No, it's okay. It's okay because it's fine having it's okay being open-minded and having opinions on certain things. It's because I for one would absolutely hate to criticize my friends who decide to do certain things because they find value in it, because there is certainly value in it. People love watching shorts. Why would you not make shorts if you know there is an audience out there who would consume this content all the time and find entertainment in it? There's good value in entertaining your viewer base. So there's nothing wrong with shorts innately. There's really nothing wrong with it. What's wrong with it is there is that subculture that will understand that it is exploitable.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
where
it goes wrong.
Yeah.
But once again, you can find this exploitation value in a lot of different things. It's just that shorts is more conducive to that because it's so easy to make one. It's so easy to make a short. So YouTube obviously pushed it out a lot, and it's led to this environment that I don't feel comfortable getting into. So purely subjective thing. I don't personally like making shorts, but it doesn't mean that I hate shorts. Like I have a good friend of mine, Kemen.
I wasn't gonna name drop, but yeah, that's someone who's come on the podcast.
Oh no,
and I absolutely love his shorts content.
I've spoken to him before. He's a brilliant guy. And he's created a monster fan base, and they're great. The way that he's obviously catered his content towards people has led to a niche on its own. So I mean, people reference Kemen in all the things, a la the minecart update, most recent update. And it's crazy the amount of people that would know immediately that this is something that he would love, and it's just led to that fun chaos. And that is an example of someone who clearly enjoys doing this and has done well. I just can't do that myself. I couldn't do it. I would be putting on a false narrative for myself if I was to start making shorts in that sort of way. It's just not me.
As you said it already. So Kaman's one of the people I was referencing when I said they came on the podcast.
I love him.
For instance, them, if they go live on Twitch, they average about 1,000 viewers. That's someone who hasn't exploited the system and has actually built a genuine fan base.
Oh yeah. I think the people who do exploit it, it's easy to see who it is because you know that they're not really putting in the effort.
Exactly. Anyways, we should move on. So we've been recording for like over an hour now. Most of it's just been talking about shorts content. Oh god.
Oh, that's fantastic contribution.
Sorry, but also I want to learn more about you, Phoenix. That's what we're here for as well.
Oh yeah.
To have the general conversation, but to talk about you. So to loop it around a little bit into you starting up content creation. What a big loop round. Oh my goodness gracious.
As you would be well aware, I don't love talking about myself.
You don't, or you do?
No, I don't. No, it's not that I don't love talking about myself. It's just that I find there's way more value in learning about other people. It's a funny back and forth, right? Because you can learn a lot from me, and I can learn a lot from you, and we'll learn a lot from me as well, and people learn a lot from you. There's obviously it's funny because I'm absolutely not an egomaniac.
Yeah, but it's also at the end of the day, it's still your podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I said it to people. I always kind of feel bad, but then they're like, "No, it's fine. Don't worry." I'll like talk a lot about myself or reference myself out on the podcast, and then people are just like, "Yeah, at the end of the day, you're still the host, so don't worry about doing it." I'm like, "Oh yeah, true."
Yeah.
I want to know though. So on, and correct me if I'm wrong with the date here. On August, and this isn't from your wiki, by the way. I want to make this very clear because you called me out earlier, and I still feel quite sad about it.
No, it was funny because when you said the color orange, oh yeah, I know that's exactly one of the lines from the wiki because I saw the formation of the wiki right in front of my eyes.
I don't believe this was on the wiki, anyways. I just noticed on August 30th, 2016. Once again, correct me if I'm wrong. That was the final video or like final command block Bedrock for the Pokemon Cobalt and Amethyst Minecraft map, right?
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, it was close to then. It was close to the end of 2016.
How, because I know that was like obviously this big series that you're working on and you've done so much for it. I guess firstly, why did it come to an end? And secondly, how did it feel?
Well, it came to an end because the map was completed. So I spent a good 3 years of my life just like every single day working on it because I'm very much a completionist, and I truly believed when I finished that map it would be this massive accomplishment that would have grand proportions in the Minecraft community. And I mean, being what it is, literally an entirely new Pokemon game in Minecraft, it's supposed to be that one map that has done something that a lot of map makers just fail to do, which is complete a project. Because there's this funny thing where map makers, especially back then, would just constantly start a project and then just quit halfway through because they either got jaded by it, they got burnt out, they got bored, or they realized they didn't have time for it anymore, or they didn't think people would love it anymore. There's a huge community of people who would just start multiple projects because of that. And so I really want to see it, even though it took 3 years of my life. I was obviously in university at the time, and I was doing YouTube as well because I was creating the map and also making videos at the same time. So I really wanted to complete it, and I did. And so it felt, when I finished it, it did feel like a big release, but also it felt kind of weird because it's when you spend a lot of your time doing something and then it just ends. You have this weird gap. So you've suddenly got this free time on your hands that you don't really know how to handle, because you always you have this habit that you've created where you have any free time you're going to be working. All of a sudden you're not. So it felt accomplishing but also strange. But it, like, at that time, it wasn't the last thing, right? Because the project got released earlier in 2017. So I placed the command block down, finished it. It was actually quite a big deal. So I had a huge team behind me who was working with me, and they were obviously happy with it. But we also wanted to know how well the map was going to do after it was released. And it did okay. Like, it's still out there. People can still play it. And every now and then, like, I still watch gameplays of it because I love reminiscing. I'm a nostalgic idiot. So I would watch gameplays of people playing through the whole map. And I just wish I could somehow, if I had the time, bring it back, because I've got this audience now that does enjoy the stuff that I do. So if I guess 2 million subscribers later, told them that it exists, how would that ensue? Do I need to remake the map in the current version of Minecraft, which would be just nearly impossible? Or I don't know how I would coordinate that anymore.
Why don't you make Sonic?
I'm still not make Sonic.
That's trendy right now.
Yeah, with the third movie.
Exactly. You can make like a Sonic Frontiers, and I don't know, whatever the most popular Sonic game is, you can make that in Minecraft instead and make that whole new series.
There is one thing that I sort of judge based on whether I'm gonna ever make a project out of it. So I made Pokemon. That was my first endeavor. And then there was Among Us. And there was so Among Us is a big thing because it was one of the biggest games ever during that time and continues to be. So I made that in Minecraft. And so that's kind of it needs to be of epic proportions. The how viral something is now, or pop culture. It needs to be of the level of Among Us for me to even consider making it something in Minecraft. I think there was also, I mentioned Squid Game. I think there were other ones, but it needs to be on that level. Otherwise, so Wordle. I was actually going to make Wordle in Minecraft, but I didn't because I think I was late on the news crawl. Wordle was a very big thing. And then midway through, I started thinking about whether I was going to make it. And at that point, a lot of people already made it. So it's like, okay, that ship has sailed. But I was one of the first on the scene to make a proper Among Us map in Minecraft. I know there are other people who also made it too, but they were sort of specific to their friends, or it was specific to their content. So it was just like a roleplay thing, and they just walked around a random ship, but nothing was really functional. So it needs to be on that scale of meme level for me to even think about making it a map in Minecraft. Otherwise, I would feel like it's just a unfortunate waste of time because I know I'm 29, I've got a life now. I'm afraid to say. So yeah, it's not the same time as it used to be. When I was 19, I was still living with my parents. I had the time to do these things. I don't, unfortunately, now. It's sad.
And my brain has been stressed this week because I went to Germany on Friday, came back Monday, and then I had to edit the video podcast to come out Wednesday, then the podcast to come out today.
Ooh.
Now I'm recording with you, which comes out next Friday, then I recorded one on Wednesday to come out next Wednesday, then I'm recording another one today, then I'm going on holiday on Monday and Tuesday. It's so stressful. So no, I get what you mean with the whole, like, you know, firstly finding time and just obviously knowing kind of what to do, or, you know, less responsibilities.
How would you feel if your podcast or whatever enterprise you try on YouTube, how would you feel though if suddenly it became just hugely financially viable for you? Do you think that's going to add more stress or less stress to your life?
Way less stress.
Less stress?
Well, because right now I'm balancing this alongside a full-time job, and the wages from the full-time job pay the podcast. Like the amount of outgoings, like that's why I'm cutting out certain things, because the amount of outgoings is crazy, and it got to a point where it's becoming a little bit too much. And I'm happy. I'm open to say that I don't mind. So with that, if I was doing this full-time and it was like completely financial, I'd have entire days from Monday to Friday to do work as if I was working a full-time job anyway, and Saturday and Sunday to go and chill. And so right now, sometimes it leaks into the weekends. I'm spending full Saturday and Sundays. Like right now, I stay up until about 1 a.m. and then wake up about 7 a.m. That's my sleep schedule, give or take.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes it's 5 hours sleep. Like it depends on when I'm working. If I'm working the morning shift, I start at 7, so I wake up at 6 and go to bed at 1. Keep the podcast alive. But that's why I'm cutting out certain things and doing certain changes so I can have more time to work on more basic videos, which are the financial ones. I don't do it for the money. Yeah. I do it because I love the podcast. But I am starting to look at it and realize, maybe earning a bit of money would be nice for my effort. So
it would be. No, you're right. The amount of effort that sometimes I equate to certain videos, it's always different. Certain videos that I think will do well won't do well, and some videos I don't think will do well do very well. And there's a lot of, for example, a friend of mine, Crafty Masterman, who recently made GD Geometry Dash and Minecraft. Yeah, so that those types of videos, and I've been in his shoes. I know that it can really suck if you make a video that costs you 80 to 100 hours of effort and it just doesn't do as well as you would have liked. But then you make a controversial video about a redstone update.
Is mad.
Yeah, and you know that is just gonna blow up because people click on it. So like my efforts, they'll always require a cost analysis of whether something I know will do well, but is it worth the time investment? Don't know. So that's why I struggle to find feasibility in making a big project like Pokemon Cobalt and Amethyst again, or Among Us in Minecraft, unless I know with near certainty that it will attract an audience. That I don't even care if it's something that is just incredible. Like it could be a revolutionary concept like Pokemon Cobalt and Amethyst, like Among Us. It could be absolutely revolutionary in scale, but will people watch it? Will people play it? I don't know. It's got to justify that.
I'm going to say this from my own perspective, and this is literally just talking for me, not for the masses. You have to have some nasty motivation or nasty grind set to want to carry on doing content that you know isn't going to do amazing just for the love of it. For instance, the podcast. I mean, at this point, I've gone to the point where I absolutely love it because I get to talk to a different person every single week, or 2 people every single week, and it's absolutely amazing. But realistically speaking, it's going to be a very long time, if that, before the podcast starts to blow up. Because with the guests I've had on now, I still get people going, you only have 2,000 subscribers, how do you have this person on? And it's like, because I show a lot of passion and I show a lot of grind set. But you have to have some weird, like some crazy mindset to keep doing content without seeing any gain or little gain. And it's why I'm starting to make changes to hopefully start seeing the gain so I can still keep the podcast alive. Because right now I have no plans to quit it. I absolutely love doing this. But like I mentioned there, it would still be nice to see if I can unlock. So for instance, if I stop doing midweek MC, so that's 2 podcasts a week. Midweek MC is just the different branding. It's just same channel, same everything, just different branding for the different podcasts. If I cut out the Wednesday podcast and then do only InsideMC every single week, I can get that recorded on a Monday, edit it on a Tuesday. Then I have Wednesday to Friday to edit a base video, which is going to get me the viewers, get me the money. Then I re-record a podcast on Monday, edit that on a Tuesday, and it's a pattern. Instead of right now, I'm recording a podcast on Monday, recording a podcast on Wednesday, and having to get them both edited to come out the next week.
There are certain ways that you could. Now, obviously, there will be differences in everything that you try to do, but there are obviously a lot of ways that you can elevate content on YouTube, and so there are a lot of factors to consider, and so it's funny because there are always going to be people who just say things like, "Oh, just do it for the fun of it. It's fun. You should just do it because you enjoy it." There are real life implications to time sinks, to investing time, which is the most valuable asset in anyone's life. So if it's interesting too, because when you say that you get comments from people who are surprised that you've gotten this person on your show because they're so popular and might not be just quantitatively, it's worth asking people for help. Just ask. They more than likely you'd be surprised if you ask someone to come on your show, if you ask someone for advice, if you ask someone just any question, you'd be very surprised to know the amount of people who will actually respond to you. And so the people who are in your comments who say things like, "Oh, wow, how did you get them on? Must be in this weird community on Discord that has a lot of famous people." Like, no, if you ask people and you do it genuinely, there's a good chance they'll respond to you. So, like, again, there are a lot of ways you can figure out, and I'm very confident that you'll be able to do it too. There are a lot of ways, a lot of avenues at your disposal that worth thinking about, worth trying, because you never know where that's going to get you.
That's why I'm doing that now. Like, I've had, oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. No, so I know there, like, I am one of them. If people ask me genuinely certain thing and it seems like it's coming from a good place, I'm going to respond. It's not hard, especially when you scheduled me in like a month in advance. That's perfect because I'm a busy guy. So it was actually really cool that you got me to come on like a year, not a year,
yeah,
a month, a year later. That would be like, that's even better. A month, like you gave me a whole month's notice, and that's so useful because I scheduled you in, made sure nothing was around. And there's a possum in the ceiling. Not right now, but I was able to work around it because I knew that I had this engagement, and it wasn't like a week's notice where it would be very difficult for me to find time for it.
This is what I've said to people. It's like, you just have to show passion. For instance, when I've said this on like prior podcasts, when people are like, "Oh, how did you get this person on?" Because firstly, I do a really good reach out message. Like, I mean, this is speaking for me, but I think the way I messaged you with the invitation was really, really good. I gave you everything. I gave you time. Actually, to be fair, no, I originally reached out to you to be in a video. Firstly, because I was so backlogged with podcasts, I invited you to be in the one unique piece of advice video. Then after that, gave you a day, literally, bang on a month later. And so first I gave you a really good invitation message. Based on the people I've got on, I'm clearly doing something right, at least, which helps. Like, if people are wanting to come on this podcast with low subscriber counts, which realistically speaking, a lot of creators don't actually care about or look at. If they get invited to something like this, they want to just be on it 'cause it's fun. And I was also really flexible. I mean, I took holiday today just so I could record with you. I was able to work around and be flexible instead of just giving you a time and being like, "No, I'm not doing any other time. You have to do my time." Like, I am working around you and helping, like, being, because I want you on my podcast. You're taking time out of your day to be on my thing, so I'm working around you. To put into perspective, I have podcasts scheduled until the end of September now. So that's how much I like schedule ahead podcasts. So I invited someone on once and it's like, "That's so far away." I was like, "Yeah, but then if I asked you to be on tomorrow," it's a little bit last minute. And I was like, "Yeah, fair enough."
You know, just putting it crudely, there's a big reason why I think people are responding well to you. It's because your videos look good on your channel. You can spin that any way you want, but there's one thing that people look at when they get invited to these sorts of things, and that is whether it's worth their time. And so I think it's worth my time, and if people think it's worth their time, they will genuinely want to spend 2 to 3 hours just sitting down and chatting, because it's getting things off people's chests. Like, there's not a real chance for me to really talk about these things right now. It's just the way things are. Unless I'm streaming, and maybe, but when I'm streaming,
there's no archive.
Yeah. So it's now you are providing an avenue for people. I'm talking about you now. This is great. You are providing an avenue for people like me. Yeah, you're providing an avenue, like a genuine avenue, objective avenue for them to come on and chat about things that they normally don't have the chance to chat about. Things like the nature of YouTube, what's happening with social media in general, in Minecraft, and especially just gaming sphere, or anything, life in general. It's just talking about them in a safe space that can be distributed to a wider audience given the chance. And that is comforting and therapeutic in a lot of ways. So that's why people, I think, are responding well to you.
I said it to you before the podcast as well. I will take this wherever you want to go. So wherever you decide, wherever this podcast goes, I'll just follow it. I'm not going to keep it to a strict format or keep it like, obviously I'll loop back around to talking about you every now and then because that's what I want. Because at the end of the day, I still want to involve that because that's what people are here for. But also, if you want to go down the route of talking about facts and statistics and stuff, which I'm just as an example, or if someone comes on and they decided they want to do an entire podcast talking about cars and trucks, like, like, I'm happy to just go down a route you want to take, because at the end of the day, this is your opportunity to talk about whatever you want. I'm just giving you the platform for it. And I had someone on Quebec Corner a few weeks back from midweek, and something they were saying is like, there's a lot of like lost Minecraft media out there, and at this point, like kind of taken from what they said, InsideMC has essentially become that lost Minecraft media archive. You can say stuff here that if anything was to ever happen, like you're nothing like negative, but like say like the video was to disappear off your channel, or like you don't remember deleting it or whatever, right? Like for instance, the Pokemon, you accidentally deleted the entire playlist and you had no clue and there's no archives of it anywhere. This podcast, we talked about it, and we talked about what happened and stuff like that, like little bits of it. There's almost becomes that sort of archive. Or if in 5 years shorts are wiped off the platform, this podcast is here to talk about what shorts were like 5 years ago, kind of idea. So.
Oh yeah, it's like an obituary. But yeah, it's nice to be able to engage in conversation where I'm able to provide general advice to people who are trying to become a YouTuber, or just life advice in general for people who want to strive to do something that they're passionate about. And so, yeah, there will be people who will say, chase your dreams, give it all you got. If there was no object, what would you want to do? You should do those things. Aspire to be the best, do the best thing you want. Or like, I do agree something like, to a great extent, be the best person you want to be. But I mean, that it's not really related, but I do think at some point you should obviously think about bigger implications that are somewhat out of your control. Because as much as you hate to think about it, life can be hard and kind of sucks, but it shouldn't deter you in a way that you don't have any control over. So at least don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's another way to put it. You can take the time to chase a passion, but you have to think about time as a valuable asset. So don't die by your own sword.
You just pulled out the quote book and you're just throwing a bunch of them out there now, aren't you?
Platitudes, but they work. I'm trying to figure out, a very succinct way to not try to deny people a life that they dream of.
Okay, here I'm just gonna say it because I like to be very blunt with what I say. Because at the end of the day, so I have this ideology. If I say something out loud and it applies to you, I never said it was you. So if you think I'm talking about you, that's sadly your problem.
Oh yeah, no,
that's my way of saying things. So what I'm gonna say is, with YouTube, if you sit there and you genuinely think it's a time waste and you can't be, and you don't think you're doing too well and stuff like that, either try harder, try re-innovate your content, or if you genuinely aren't motivated anymore, don't keep beating a dead bush. For instance, with the podcast, I know right now it's not getting crazy growth, but that doesn't affect me because I have a job, I have a stable income, and I'm still fortunate to live with my parents. So right now I can't afford to cost that. So I know right now I'm not seeing major growth with the podcast. I value the people I talk to more than the money and more than the views. But if you genuinely care about the views and the money and stuff, then
we've talked about it already. There is a certain culture of people who would just do it for the money, and I know exactly that that's not what you're doing, which is what I know that because you gotta take your 20s to explore. I think that it still stands true. I do think that your 20s is that moment of time that you've got, especially in today's, I guess, what would you call it? What is our current era called? I don't
know. I don't know. Well, like life era or YouTube era? If you're talking about life, we're just in a bit of a weird place right now in general.
the early 21st century, which allows people I guess, I don't know, it's always going to change, but it does allow you to give it all you got in your 20s. And so you're in your prime time right now. 21, yeah. I'm going on holidays and stuff, exploring. Oh yeah, don't forget this. Don't forget this time of your life. This is. I sound like I'm 30. I'm nearly 30. I'm sound like I'm 50-year-old giving advice to a kid, which is absolutely not true.
But then at the same time, I grew up watching your content, so
yeah, that's so weird.
Technically speaking, you kind of are giving advice to someone who's like watched you.
I've only got 8 years on you.
Yeah, but then you also have InsideMC was made 2 years ago, so you technically have 8 years of content as well. How strange. Well,
it's I guess it's funny because I'm nearing the end of my 20s, so I can now sort of divulge what it was like. So it's still not so different because I spent my entire 20s subsumed.
Okay, can I try something and see if you agree?
Yeah.
YouTube is I know what you're talking in a general sense, but I'm going to kind of link into YouTube for easier saying here for like people to understand it a little bit better, I guess. YouTube is constantly changing. Being 20 to 29 nowadays as opposed to 9 years ago being 20 to 29. In a YouTube sense, it's a lot easier to grow and establish an audience. It's harder harder to grow but easier to grow at the same time of like YouTube is now a fully sustainable platform. Also, life has just changed in general. Yeah, things aren't amazing right now, but getting a job and living and, you know, I guess become more normalized. For instance, like my parents, they moved out when they were really young, but it's become a lot more normalized for people to still live with their parents up until like the age of 24, 25. So we're in a place right now where you can work, you can earn money, you can sacrifice time to do content and sacrifice time to live your life a little bit. So capitalize on it while you're younger.
Yeah, I mean, you put it great. So it is normalized. So nowadays, it's almost an expectation that your parents just let you stay because your parents want to give everything they've got to
But they also know
raise
it's so hard to get a house nowadays.
Nowadays, yeah, because inflation just hasn't met. It's not parallel to the wage growth. So you essentially have housing that is just unaffordable. So parents they just have to let you stay for a little bit longer. Not that they don't want to, because I'm sure parents want to stay with their kids as long as they can. But there's obviously some parents who don't. But a lot of parents wouldn't mind having their kids come back and need that time to save up more money to afford to move out. So yeah, use that time your advantage to not obviously like do nothing, because a lot of people just don't do anything. But yeah, get a job, try to get a job, and then at the same time you are doing exactly what I would suggest to anyone. So you've actually done it too. You've got a full-time job. You've got a side passion that you're working towards. That is exactly
have a girlfriend as well. So I've hit.
Oh man, you are winning at life, dude. My God, do you know the amount of people who would kill to be in your position?
How much you're boosting my ego.
You have a full-time. I'm assuming it's a stable career.
Yeah, I'm fine. Here comes the line for the regular listeners. They're gonna love this one. I'm a barista. Sorry, it's just become a thing that I bring up every podcast. I just haven't yet.
Yeah.
I'm a barista, and although I don't really like my job too much, I say this all the time. I get the train to work, and I see the people going off to their business jobs, and like I see the same people pretty much every day, and that's what makes me work for content so much harder. The only issue is I'm taking a really, really long route of making content a full-time thing when I could like kind of touch on it and make it a lot easier. But yeah, my job is stable.
You've got a stable career. You've got a job that is paying you, and at the same time, you are chasing a passion that is not squeezing every ounce of energy out of you, right? I mean, that can also
it's taking a decent amount.
But it's worth it. You love doing it. It is your passion. You wouldn't be doing anything else.
Exactly.
That's it. That is all you need. Yeah. There's nothing more that you need in life than doing something that makes you happy. That is your identity. Your identity is what makes you happy.
You really have flipped this on me. What the heck? There's been a podcast about you, not me.
All right, fine. Ask me a question. Go ahead.
No. I'm enjoying the conversation. Thank you. I always feel bad talking about myself, and I bring someone on. It's like, hey, you're on my podcast. Now let me talk about me.
Yeah, I mean, we've got plenty of time. So like, I do want to make it clear to people that if you find yourself in a position where you don't know what you're doing, just take a step back, realign yourself, and just make sure you ask yourself the question of, what if money wasn't an object, what would you want to do? Pursue that. But don't make that the only thing you're doing, because you see examples of people who drop out of college who decide that, for example, YouTube is all they want to do, or start giving up everything for something. You hear the success stories. You don't hear about the 99.9% of people who fail. So it's important to have a backup plan. Don't waste your time doing something that you think is fruitless unless you have a backup plan. Unless you know that there's something out there that is providing you a means to survive, which is one of the core. It's like the Maslow's hierarchy, right? You need to be able to survive before you do anything else. It's really important that you stay happy and stay healthy, and then do the thing that makes you happy. That's it. You've won, dude. You'll win more like if you see that your channel and the fruits of your labor are actually showing, right? That's probably going to be what that shows you that you've achieved it.
That's the change I'm working towards now.
Yeah, work on it, and you'll be very happy when
more on you then. Again, I appreciate a little talk about me. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not trying to brush you off. I do really appreciate it. It's motivating as well, because I guess like no one really says that to me. It's always nice to hear it.
I still have a lot to learn. We all do. This is just the stuff that I've kind of realized in my early days of living life.
Yeah, with, I guess, like kind of talking about a lot to learn, weird transition here.
Yeah.
Over the 10 years of making YouTube content, and if your answer is I'm just gonna rule out the Pokemon because we've talked about it a lot. So even if it is your answer, I'm gonna get you to say something else. What has been your favorite like content you've made? It can be a few videos, it can be a niche, it can be anything. It's like if you have like a select like 5 videos that are your favorite, or if you have a niche of videos that you made, anything like that over the years.
I mean, yeah, Pokemon would definitely be one of them. But I can't go past. If you go to my catalog of videos and search by popular, I think it's gonna be there, right? It should be.
Which one, sorry?
Yeah, if you just search by popular, I actually don't know.
Pig Step is the most popular one.
I don't know if. Oh wait, there it is.
Oh my god, when people tell me to touch grass video, I've just hovered over it. Imagine doing that with today's minecarts. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh yeah, I mean it was only 3 years ago. It's not too. Oh yeah, right.
No,
the
with
minecart
the update, yeah, imagine.
I don't know if it's changed too much, just given because it did remind me of it, but I don't know if it's really changed too much given the mechanics of minecarts. It hasn't mechanics of minecart doesn't really lend itself to bending 360 degrees yet. I'd say one of the weirdest videos that I've truly enjoyed making would be the So Mojang added Bleach to Minecraft. For some reason, that video it worked. Everything just came together because, first of all, Bleach is still a pop culture meme, still remains today. Like, it's just a very subtle way of saying a certain thing that you've done to yourself. So that has a function in Minecraft that allows you to dye your sheep white. So like just change the color of sheep in Minecraft white. And so if I right click the bleach item, I can make it an edible item. So there's the video. A 1.5 minute video that just happened to work because of the comedic timing to it. That's probably going to be one of my favorites, even though it's it's a silly video that really does not do anything other than entertain at its core state. It was just really fun to put together. So yeah, I guess not all of my videos require just hours and hours of coding. So that one just was easy to do. And it was punchy, and it was funny, and it remains funny today.
You do a lot of videos with TNT as well. Or at least you used to.
Oh.
Like lots of like TNT bits. And from watching your videos, I just gathered like a few of like, I remember one where like a panda was eating a TNT, the Enderman video with the TNT. Minecraft items also include TNT. Like you do a lot of bits with TNT, which is kind of funny.
At some point, I guess with the 2000 videos I've made, at some point a lot of them more popular ones would be ones that include explosions. Yeah, and actually my latest video not hasn't been uploaded yet, but it will be soon. That will feature a lot of TNT. Actually, there's another one here. Some of these thumbnails just write themselves. Like this one's just, you would have scrolled past shearing a pufferfish becomes a bold pufferfish. It's like, these are the things that I didn't even think that I would ever be making 5 years ago, but I just have because it's funny. So yeah, it's like these little things that you can accomplish because you know how to program or reprogram or restructure the game in some way. So by knowing how to change the way the game functions, you can all it takes is just a weird idea. And if you can code it, feel out of it. But that's the hard thing, finding an idea, right? That going to be clickable or entertaining. That's the hardest bit. Once you've figured that out, then there are a lot of things you can do. But yeah, some things work, but a lot of these videos will be some of my favorites, the ones which just write themselves because the humor is innate in the concept itself.
Yeah, I remember you did a video, and sorry if this is just made up in my head. You did a video with Fundy reacting to like Bedrock Edition stuff.
Oh yeah, that was pretty recent.
Yeah, okay, good. I don't know, but for some reason, part of me was like, "Did you make this up?" Okay, good. Okay, it's recent. But sure. One of the things you reacted to was the random dying in Bedrock Edition. That was like, this is why I thought it was like a weird fever dream, because I remember enjoying that video, but I was like, was it you? It was you, so that's good. The random dying Bedrock Edition. I've seen like I can't remember which one it was you watched or if it was both, but like there's 2 different versions of it. There's like one where they're building the cherry house and then just randomly die. Then the other one is when they're flying through the nether and then just randomly get trapped in a block. Then they're not actually in, and then they just suffocate and die. And it was on hardcore as well, and it's just like, Bedrock Edition is something.
Yeah. They still wanna add hardcore mode to Bedrock Edition. It's hilarious to me. Because how can you have, in any universe, how can you have a version of the game that is your main game, marketed as your main game? How can you have that just be as broken out as it is to kill a player when they shouldn't have been killed? that's a core function of Minecraft, is to survive. And the game will kill you if you haven't done anything wrong. That to me just is unfathomable. How could you do that? So like Fundy occasionally just messages me to be a part of. I should really get him on one of my later Reddit videos, and I should really do that because it's really funny having him on. But he just messaged me, and then he was like, "Hey, do you want to do a video together?" And like, sure. Let me invite you to a Reddit one. But then it just landed on a day where I didn't want to record a Reddit video because I had something else planned. So I invited him on, and I was just like, "What's something funny that's happening in Minecraft lately?" Oh wait, Bedrock Edition trying to add hardcore mode when everyone just randomly dies, and it was so current, it was so topical because there were people uploading clips of them dying in Bedrock Edition because they're trying to add hardcore mode. That was filled up on my subreddit, and I was like, yeah, sure, just on, we'll watch some of these. It's really funny, and I didn't realize, but it was just like one of the funniest things I've ever done because he legitimately found such a huge amount of humor to it, somewhat more than me because maybe I've just seen so many of them, but yeah, it's weird, and they're still trying to do it. They're still trying to add hardcore, but they really got to fix these problems. It's just unplayable.
I didn't realize how popular your subreddit was until giving a little scroll before the podcast. It is like genuinely.
No, it's quarter a million subscribers, I think.
Why is there a reason it's growing that much? Like, did you do? I know you do like quite a few Reddit videos, but did you purposely push for its video? Like, was that always an idea to make it big, or?
I didn't make the subreddit actually. It was my viewers who created the subreddit.
No, but I mean, did you like? Was there a goal for you to push it to be bigger? Is what I mean.
Oh no, not at all. So I didn't actually create this. A lot of my viewers did, and so the moment they told me that it was a thing, I was like, okay, let's see what people are posting on. And I think I made a singular video on it that was like trying to emulate PewDiePie's meme reviews in some way, but it just didn't fit. It didn't feel right to me. And then I just sort of changed it up a little bit. And then gradually the subreddit became more popular. More people wanted to post stuff on it. And so it became an avenue for them to post things on it where I would showcase my viewers. So it was like it was a way for them to sort of advertise themselves on my channel. That's how Fundy got really popular to begin with, because I mean, not taking anything away from Fundy. Fundy's great because he's a great dude, but he posted a lot of his creations on my subreddit, and then I showed them my Reddit videos a few times. And then he got so many views because of those first few videos of like the pufferfish thing, buying all of the food items to a singular item. So I think people realized that it was a good way for them to have their stuff shown, and that was the original intent. And then at some point, I think I just got more. I didn't even think about it. It became a very second nature thing. It just got more and more popular, and now it just has 236,000 subscribers apparently, and it's become a place where people can meme about in Minecraft without getting banned because r/Minecraft Minecraft subreddit just became a pretty toxic environment. So now r/Feetpics SC is another avenue that people can use, and so people now they subscribe to r/Feetpics SC without sometimes even realizing that it's actually got a YouTube channel associated with it. It's not just Feetpics SC, it's an actual YouTube channel. So I guess that's where people are now subscribing to it. In fact, I'm curious. So if I go into r/Minecraft, which is here.
So
I'm just looking at the people online. So r/Minecraft has 322 people online. Minecraft memes has 158, and r/Feetpics SC has 48. So it's about like a third of the Minecraft memes one, which is the official Minecraft memes subreddit. But it's really not that far behind from the main Minecraft subreddit, which has 322 people online, and my one has about 50. So it's like 1/6 of the people who are on the main subreddit are actually on my subreddit. So it's an interesting dynamic that's associated with it, because I don't normally associate my r/Feetpics SC as a subreddit about me, but it's rather a subreddit about weird Minecraft stuff that I think it's going to be banned on r/Minecraft. Might as well maybe you want to post it here because it's going to be seen by a lot of people too. But anyway, I should point out though that r/Minecraft has had a huge overhaul in the way they operate. So I have some confidence now that it's probably a little better than what it used to be. But I don't really follow r/Minecraft too much, but I am in constant contact with the people who run it, and I do think it's in a better place now.
I was so disappointed painted in r/Minecraft.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a whole
it did
video
have
about
some.
it. I didn't because I thought I was in the wrong until I started seeing people were coming out with like their stuff about it. I got banned from r/Minecraft for uploading a command block tutorial, which on the scoreboard said subscribe to Insane Orbits because that was just a video, and it's like, oh, you're using this as a sly way to promote. Sorry, then got instantly banned. So as I was messaging them, I was like, look, can I just get unbanned? And it's like, oh, why don't you try in a year? So it's like, okay. So exactly a year later, to be really petty, I was like, you're right, lads, can I get unbanned now? And they was like, oh, well, you haven't done anything to prove that why you should be unbanned. I said, sorry. It was like, oh, you haven't shown us why you deserve to be unbanned. You haven't put any effort in. I was like, how am I meant to put effort in if you've banned me from the Reddit? Yeah, very, very annoying. I felt like it was a weird dictatorship, and I still have beef with. I probably still have the messages. I don't know who it was with, but I have.
How long ago was this?
Oh god, this is a while back now. So when you say overhaul, it makes me feel confident, but still, I don't really use Reddit anymore, anyways. This was. The chat messages are from. No way, did it delete all my messages? Okay, I'll just go through my note. Where's r/Minecraft? Oh, messages. There we go. Right, sorry. r/Minecraft. Oh, here we go. 1 year ago. Minecraft mods. You have been permanent. So the original interaction was from 4 years ago, and then the most recent interaction was from a year ago. I probably didn't actually. I probably shouldn't have sent this actually. I sent like a massive paragraph, and they said about how I still randomly. So I sent this entire reply. And I said, so can I get unbanned? They ignored me. So exactly a year later after that, I put, you guys are still ass, fuck you lot. So I probably shouldn't have said that. And I got temporarily muted.
So, I will say, I have every reason to believe the current staff structure of r/Minecraft is significantly better than it once was.
4 years ago.
Yeah, well, even several months ago, I reckon, probably even better than that now. There's a lot more internal communication, which to me feels a little more objective than what used to be. And you're absolutely right. The staff in r/Minecraft is not, well, before now they weren't kind. They definitely had that.
They were power hungry.
They're the stereotypical Reddit culture.
Yeah.
Now I feel as though it has improved a lot. In saying that, don't be afraid to post your weird stuff on r/Feetpics SC as well.
Yeah, go check out
Feetpics SC.
That's clear.
We would be very welcoming to those who especially have been wronged by r/Minecraft. We love that. Like we love it when people get wronged by r/Minecraft and they come here. We're like, here,
the additions.
we have milk and cookies for you. We'd love to have you. Now, obviously, it still follows the Reddit algorithm. Like, if no one likes what you're posting, obviously it won't be shown up. But I am of the opinion that less enforcement is better in this sense, because if your stuff isn't liked by the people, then it won't show up anyway. Why do you need to enforce it? It's just natural. It's just the natural progression of the internet.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if you upload something and people hate it, why would it keep being pushed to other people just to hate it also?
Well, unless it's found its popularity because of its controversy. There's another one. Yeah. But that usually doesn't happen on Reddit. If it's not liked on Reddit, then it's not going to be upvoted anyway.
Yeah, that's Reddit how you goes get visible. With that then, is there anything else you wanted to touch on about yourself? Like anything that you thought I was going to bring up that you wanted to talk about? Or I mean, we didn't do too much coverage on you, but I feel like we've done a pretty good job nonetheless.
I found it. I looked at your well, kind of related. I looked at your tweet when you announced me on the show, and I was looking at the replies, and a lot of them were like Feetpics SC.
Yeah, we were.
I was like, wait, are you really gonna bring that up? Oh my god.
So what I normally tend to do is I do the entire segment, and then I go, "Is there anything else you want to talk about?" And then if you go no, then we move into the Twitter topics.
Right.
If you want to talk about that now, we can. There's from Lucas Feetpics SC. Mergverman, Phoenix SC.
Are you at all curious as to how those came about?
Yeah, I have no clue. I actually genuinely have no clue why that exists.
Okay, so if I was to ask you how to spell Phoenix, would you be able to do it with confidence?
Phoenix. That's what I'd do.
Okay, good. Because a lot of people spell it the wrong way. So they spell it Pheonix.
Yeah, right? Which is nearly what I said out loud, but I didn't. I changed it last second.
Okay, well, it's Phoenix.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people subset of people who spell it Pheonix, and they do it obviously it's an honest mistake. But then there are people who would do it on purpose. They would spell it Pheonix. And so I leave it alone. Like you know who you're talking. Totally fine. I'd love to correct you, but I won't. And then it became a running joke where they would every so often, they will change one of the letters, so it wouldn't be Phoenix. It will suddenly be, instead of PH, they will change it to Feonix, and then they'd be like Feenix, and then because my skin is yellow and I've made sufficient.
Oh, I can see where this is going.
I have made a sufficient amount of videos covering the color of my skin, and I've also made a video where if you sleep on a red bed, it will change to yellow time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it got warped again into Peenix. And so there's a whole subreddit r/pnxe. It's actually shown up. Do you know the Ouija board Reddit subreddit?
Yeah, I don't really use Reddit too much, but I see I've seen screenshots from it while scrolling through Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah, so the Ouija board one is where you would pose a question, then the comments would each pick one letter, and then they would spell out an answer. One of them was actually like Penix SC, and then that was the answer, and I was so happy to see that, because the question was something like, a child is born with blank and you're disappointed. What is it? And then the answer was P, and then next comment ENI, and then X SC. And they saved themselves, but they used my channel. That was so funny. But anyway, it got changed so much. My name got changed so much to the point where people just call me that now. Then more recently, there was a video. I think I may have made a video about it. But on Minecraft Pocket Edition, there is a button that looks like wings. So if you press it, you fly. It's like a creative mode button on Pocket Edition that looks like a pair of wings. But then I questioned what it was, and I wasn't sure what it was. And then some people thought it was feet.
Oh no.
And so they posted on my subreddit a picture of my skin or someone's skin, and then they would put those two buttons on their legs, and there's like Feetpics, and then they're like, oh, there's a new one, Feetpics SC. So it just continues on from that.
Let me try to think of one for you here.
What?
I'm trying to think of a funny variation.
It may have been thought of already.
I can't think of anything anyways. It's too on the spot for me. Normally I'm quite good, but not with this.
There are a lot. As long as it sounds like something Nix or something X, then it will be valid.
SC.
Well, it needs to have some form of pop culture reference,
and it has to kind of sound like it'd be similar.
Yeah, because Feetpics is obviously a pop culture.
Yeah, it's very famous.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, but it slipped my mind now. I was gonna say something about you was talking about that. It made me think of something else, but it's just clearly slipped my mind, which is annoying. Yeah, I guess we'll just ask the rest of the Twitter questions then.
Yeah.
The next one comes from Shiny Dude. That's my go right there. I love the Shiny Dude. Big up the Shiny Dude.
Yeah.
Which they was actually very happy when you got announced as well.
Oh, there you go.
Big up my guy. Which potion in Minecraft do you think would taste the best, and which one would taste the worst?
Oh my god, that sounds like a comment I'd totally get. A potion that tastes, and that would taste the worst, has to be something that is somewhat medicinal. I feel like medicine just has this strange stereotype of being.
Potion regen would taste like a weird paracetamol, I feel like.
Yeah, something like that, or night vision would the things that would give you a positive effect. Stuff like that would certainly taste the worst. The ones that would taste the best would be hopefully things like strength, though. Even though I know that's a positive effect, but a potion of strength has to. Have you seen Dragon Ball Z?
When I was 6.
Yeah, so those sensu beans that you would eat to grow strength. I feel like that would be a strength. So maybe that would be the one that tastes the best. Or anything that would buff your strength would be probably something that tastes.
Would it be a bad shout to say that fire protection would taste really good?
Probably.
What's the name of the bloody potion? Why have I forgot it? Fire resistance, no? Fire protection?
Or maybe
what's the name of that potion? Really quickly, sorry.
Potion of fire resistance.
Oh, it's fire resistance. Okay, yeah. I feel like that tastes really good.
Or something like speed effect.
Anything that makes you feel damn.
Yeah, because it's that's probably something akin to Red Bull, right? I don't know if Red Bull tastes good. I've never had it before.
I like Red Bull.
Yeah, well, there you go. Red Bull gives you wings.
Red Bull gives you wings, exactly. What would be bad then? Would be just any positive effects?
I think anything that maybe, but a lot of things that are poisonous.
Poison wouldn't have a taste.
Yeah, I think things that are just medicine, so health regen.
Got you. Okay.
Those things probably wouldn't
Yeah.
But you have to, right? You need to regenerate, so you wouldn't do it otherwise.
It's like cough medicine. Like, there's a certain cough medicine that I always have. It's horrible, but I need it, so I
Yeah.
drink anyway. Or, like, not drink it. It'd probably be bad if I drank it, but yeah. The next one comes from vegetables, or vegetable, I should say. And this is one I remember them asking this. I've actually been saving it. What is the story of the face under your Minecraft skin's chin?
Oh, that one. Yeah. I had a friend. I haven't really spoken to them for a while, and I think we had a group session. We had like constant group session where we would play Bed Wars a lot. And I think at some point we had this sort of idea to put a face underneath our skins. And so I did that, and then I showed it in a video. Just had this random face under my skin. And then I think they asked me what it was, but then I was like, hey, if you want to put a face under your skin, message this person. Their name's Shuzilla, and we made Squid Game in Minecraft together. And I just said like, hey, if you want to put this face under your skin, just message them. And then she got like a bunch of responses and spent weeks upon weeks just responding to everyone. But that would have been like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So there's just this, so I just kept it. And every time I look up on Minecraft, you really can't see it if I don't have the inventory button on or if I had some sort of perspective on. But yeah, if I look up, there's just random face there. I think it's funny because you can have, that's a different face that you can show in Minecraft. If you look straight up, especially in multiplayer mode, they won't see you looking up. They will just see that random face looking back at you, but it's cropped off because it's got a smaller pixel size. And I thought that was hilarious, so I just kept it.
That's fire. I love it.
Yeah.
And then the final one comes from... I feel like we've answered them all, so I'm just gonna ask this one because I've said there's a final one, so we'll make it.
Yeah, no worries.
This one is from it might be vid, and we've already kind of touched on this anyways. Why doesn't he play survival Minecraft?
Yeah, see, I do.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I don't spend a lot of time playing survival Minecraft because if I was, then I'd feel like I should be doing something else. But I think just as a consequence of that, I don't show a lot of survival material on my channel, and a lot of it comes down to the fact that I don't find that I am most myself if I'm just sitting down and playing a game and showing people. Like I have to, I just need to give some sort of value. And if I'm just playing survival, I don't feel like I'm doing that. Now, obviously nothing against the people who make hardcore videos or long movie length cinematic summaries of what they're doing in survival Minecraft. It's just not me. So that's why I don't record myself playing survival. But I mean, I do because I've played survival before. It's just not, I don't think it's a good creative investment. So I find a lot more value in making something and showing people because it feels different. If I'm playing survival, it just doesn't feel different enough. And so I don't think my viewers would be as engaged as if they were watching the stuff that I'm already doing. So that's why, yeah, it comes in two ways, I guess. I do play survival, but at the same time, I just don't record myself doing it. But in any case, I don't actually play survival that much. If I'm not at my computer playing Minecraft for a video, then I'm probably doing something.
It's very rare I play Minecraft.
Yeah,
unless I'm streaming or... I mean, I talk about it more than anything now, to be honest.
If you're playing Minecraft for a living, as which I probably am, I might as well do something else if I'm not doing that, right?
Yeah. I respect it. Well, with that being said then, that sadly brings the end of this week's InsideMC, Phoenix. It's been
2 hours. Damn.
We've just loved talking to each other. It's been amazing.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, man.
All right. Thank you for taking time out of your evening.
Yeah, it's been very, very enlightening for the both of us, I would assume.
Oh, very much. Thank you. It's given me motivation to do what I was planning to do even more so, which is nice. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You've basically set yourself up for a good amount of success.
Oh, thank you. Before I do the outro here, though, I always like to give this opportunity for you to promote yourself. So anyone who's made it to the end here and is curious to see where to find you, please, where can people find Feetpics SC? You can find Feetpics SC at youtube.com/orbits. Do not promote Orbits. Orbits does not upload. Oh, which one is it? Well, my InsideMC, is it not? Yeah, my YouTube channel is Insane Orbits, but I don't upload on it. So the channel would be InsideMC Podcast. InsideMC Podcast. That's where you'll find me. Oh no. Otherwise, Feetpics SC. But you know, the title will include the name. So it's pretty clear. Yeah, but Reddit. Feetpics SC Reddit. I'd love. Yeah, there's another one. my subreddit, always out there for people who
want alternative Minecraft as it I guess is now, the other side of Minecraft that we didn't know exists, but it does.
What was you gonna say there before I made the Reddit joke, by the way? Or was that it?
Oh, which one? Which one?
You was gonna say
I don't
something. I
know.
just talked over you by accident. Sorry.
Nah, it wasn't anything. I was just saying, like, oh yeah. I think there's just more value, I guess. I wish more people would be able to see, because what you're doing is you are shedding light on a completely different side of Minecraft that has never been seen before, which needs to be seen, because everyone just people, especially the younger audience, will just watch YouTube videos of Minecraft and be like, oh, that's so cool. Let's play a video game for a living, fun, right? But then there's this whole other side that isn't readily available for people to realize or educate, and that is something that you are doing for people. So it'll be really nice for people to be able to watch or realize or recognize the contribution you're making.
Oh, mate, very, very much. I really appreciate all the kind words. I'm not used to this. I don't do compliments.
None of us. I don't do compliments either.
But that's just life, sadly. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
With that being said, that sadly brings the end of this week's Inside MC. Thank you all for listening. Stay safe. Don't eat too much bread. Peaces.